Okay, let's come back. Let's come back. Let's continue with class 6. So we already, class 5, we talked about the renunciation and stopping the desire for this life. So now, class 6, we talk about renunciation and stopping the desire for future lives, okay? And first, let's go through the PowerPoint quickly. I just felt that the PowerPoint has a good summary of the content, but we still need to go deeper through the readings, yeah? And I think that is more important, and that is very important. The reading has the blessing. The reading has a blessing because the root text is from J. Tsongkhapa. The commentary is from Pabongka Rinpoche, and the translation is from Geshe Michael. No, sorry, I should correct that. The translation is by Ken Rinpoche, Geshe Lobsang Tarjin, and Geshe Michael Roach, okay? So for ACI 1, the Lamso Namsum text was actually translated by Geshe Lobsang Tarjin and Geshe Michael Roach. So it has the full blessings from the teachers in our lineage. So please read it, yeah? Okay, now, law of karma and 6 problems of life. So now we talk about the stopping renunciation by stopping the desire for the next life. All right, my PowerPoint is cut off, okay, but never mind. I think you can understand, right? Understand the law of karma and understand the various suffering of samsara, which is the 6, what do you call that just now? 6 problems of life. 6 problems of life. Okay, 6 problems. Basically, we are talking about there are 3 kinds of there are 3 divisions of suffering, right? The most common one that we know is the 3 kinds of suffering, and then this is 3 kinds of suffering. What are they? Suffering of change, and suffering of what's the term again? Suffering of I forgot the term. Suffering of anyway, it's okay. Yeah, P, start with P, right? So a pervasiveness. Thank you, Jensen. Yeah, Jensen is bilingual expert. Yeah, pervasive suffering, right? And then the second division is the 6 kinds of suffering, and then that one is the 8 kinds of sufferings. All right, but we always remember the 3 kinds of suffering. Okay, now let's go through proof of future life. Oh gosh. Okay, we need to learn proof of future life because we want to stop the desire for future life. So how do we prove future life? This is actually in ACI 4. In ACI 4, but let's just go through quickly, right? ACI 4, we learn much deeper, but this is just the surface, right? So we start with our mind. Our mind cannot be seen and cannot be touched. So this mind is a result of a cause, and the material cause of this mind should be mind itself, mind of the previous moment, right? When we talk about cause and effect, we always talk about material cause and conditions. Material cause is something which is similar. Material cause is something similar to the condition, something similar to the result, and it will turn into the result. Yeah, material cause will turn into the result. That's why they have to be same material. And here, our mind must have come from the mind of previous moment. And then the mind of previous moment must have come from the mind of the previous moment. And if we were to go through this process all the way, we can reach the time just before, we can reach the time when we were first born. And the mind of us, just the mind of us, the moment after we were born, must have come from the mind of the moment before we were born inside the womb, right? The same thing, then we can start to trace back. The mind, when we were in the womb, must have come from the mind of the previous moment of the time we were in the womb, all the way until the mind at the moment when we were first conceived, right? The mind when our heart started to beat. And the mind at the moment of our heart started beating must have come from the mind of that previous moment. And when you really think through it, when you really use your logic to think through it, you will come to realization, but there must be a mind that existed before our conception, before our birth. All right, so this is basically the proof of future life. Okay, I mean, this is a proof of past life. And the same thing, we can see this mind stream continuing from life to life. That means we can prove that after this life, there will definitely be a next life and the next life. And we can say that there are future life. Once we understand this, then we can start to practice. Yeah, we can start to practice not to be attached to the future life. And there are two methods. The first one is the law of karma, 4 laws of karma that we are so familiar. All right. So what are they? The first one, le ngepa, action and consequences must be similar. The apple seed produces apple fruit. Yeah. Apple must have come from apple seed, not orange seed, right? The second one, le pel chewa, action must be smaller than the consequence. The seed is small, the fruit is big. The third one, le ma jepa dang mi trepa, no action, no consequence. And finally, jepa chumi sawa. With action, there must be consequences. So this is the law of karma. And this is very powerful. If we understand this, we will then develop, we will then can stop the desire for future life. Yeah. Or actually, when we learn this, actually, we want to have a better future life. Yeah, we want to have a better future life. But when we understand what future life will become, then we can develop the desire for future, to develop the stopping of the desire for future life. Okay. This is something very important. In fact, if you remember, Geshe Michael teaching about this in Lam Rim, we can use this as our third eye, ability to understand the 4 laws of karma, to see the cause of our suffering today, and also to see the result of what we are doing today is none other than our third eye. Okay, so we can use this law of karma to trace, to understand our life. Okay. Okay, so this is the first one. The second one, 6 sufferings of human life. The 6 sufferings. So the first one, life has no certainty. Ngepa mepa. No certainty. Ngepa certainty, mepa means no certainty, right? No certainty. Ngepa mepa. Life has no certainty. We are not sure how this life is going to go about, unless you know the seed system and you know how to plant seeds. So all of us who have learned the seed system, we are so lucky and so blessed. Right? Seed system is ultimate. Without that knowledge, basically, we don't know for certainty how our life will go on. Second, we always want more. Ngompame. Ngompame means there is no limit, no stop. Yeah, we always want more. Well, I mean, this is not wrong. if we know how we can get more, right? So please don't tell people that it's wrong to want more. But what is wrong? What is wrong? What is wrong when we want more? So here I'm saying it's not wrong to want more unless we know what. Yes, we want more ignorantly, that is wrong, right? So if we don't have this ignorance, if we want more comically, or rather using the seed system, then it's okay. But if we want more ignorantly, that is a problem. Wow, congratulations to all the seed people, huh? At least you won't do it ignorantly. Number 3, did I jump too fast? No. Oh yeah, I jumped too fast. Okay. We keep sucking off bodies again and again. So we keep on changing bodies. Yeah. Lu yang ne, yang du dorwa. Yang dun dorwa. Yeah. So we keep on changing bodies. We keep on changing bodies. Buddha did mention before, right? If all the bones from our previous life were piled up together, help me to correct if I'm wrong. I think Buddha was saying that it will be much taller than Mount Meru. And how many Mount Merus, you know, if all the bones from our previous life will pile up, that means we have been in this wheel of suffering many times. It's not thousands, millions, eons times. We have been coming back to this wheel of life suffering again and again without stopping. We keep going into new life again and again. Yang ning cham chorwa. Yang again and again. Again and again. Ning cham chorwa. All right. Again and again, non-stop. This is also suffering. Why? Because if you go to a new life, you go to a new birth, it's suffering, right? Not only your own suffering, the mother's body is suffering too. We go up and down in our fortunes in life over and over again, up and down, up and down. We don't know when we are going up. We don't know when we are going down. Chinese people says what? Feng shui lun liu zuan, you know, it's like you are going up and down all the time. Today you are down, tomorrow you are up. Today you are up, tomorrow you are down. So yang ho tung girwa, yang tomendu girwa. Tomendu girwa. Yeah. We are going up and down again, our fortunes also. It's very uncertain. But again, congratulations, seeds people. You know how to keep on planting seeds so you don't have to go down. And finally, no one can come along with us. Ultimately, we are alone. Drok metpa, no companion. Yeah, no companion. We are alone. We are alone. You know, when I first got married, I was so afraid of losing my wife. Well, it doesn't mean that now I'm not afraid, but but you know, I always think, wow, life will be very lonely and miserable if I'm alone, you know. But yeah, you know, but ultimately we are alone. This is just a short period of our life. You know, I always tell my wife, we are just like taking a train. You know, I happened to board the train in 1969. She boarded the train in 1976. My father get off the train in 2017, you know. Maybe I will also get off the train 2023, maybe. We don't know. So it's just like going up and down the train along this journey. And we're always alone. And then when I get up the train, I saw my wife. Hey, how are you? I saw Mr. Choi. Hey, Mr. Choi, you are in the same car, right? We happen to meet, you know. So we are just like in the train, but we are alone when we a light and we get up. So yeah, this is life. So how to succeed in having renunciation? When we develop in the mind the aspiration to freedom all day and all night. My wife was just telling me, wow, listening to the teaching, it feels very scary. I say, yeah, in fact, it's scary. And that's why we want to develop the renunciation. We want to really have the strong desire to learn the seed system and to practice planting the seeds. Yeah, that is very important. All right. Okay, so I think that's all. Let's go to our reading. Let's go to our reading. Reading 6. Stopping the desire for future lives. Think over and over how deeds and their fruits never fail. Yeah, so this is talking about the law of seeds, the 4 laws of seeds, and the cycle suffering. So think of the cycle suffering. This is the 6 sufferings that we just discussed. Stop desire for the future. All right. So what do we mean by desire for the future? Well, desire for the future is the kind of attitude where we think, I hope in my future birth I can live like some godlike being. I want to become the king. I want to become the queen. I want to become like Bill Gates. I want to become, we have all these dreams. So that is the desire for future life. All right. And this is another thing, right? Yeah, sometimes we see people who pray to be born in one of the truly pure realms of the Buddhahood. Yeah. Sometimes we see people who wish to be born in Buddha's paradise. Okay, many. Okay, people around us, many. All right. Actually, I want to say, including those learning medicine Buddha, I want to be born in Buddha's paradise. But if you pray without any intention of reaching this high state in order to help other beings, yeah, you will basically come back to the desire for future life. So that's why when we practice medicine Buddha, the Bodhisattva vow, even in the form of prayer, is very important. Okay, yes, maybe you don't have the wish for action yet, but even in the form of prayer, may I one day have the wish to be enlightened to help all other beings. That alone is enough. And then your prayer to be born in one of the Buddha's paradise is okay. Otherwise, you won't go there. You will still come back to you will still stay in the wheel of suffering, all right? So in the normal teaching, yeah, in the normal teaching, the principle of action, which is action and consequence, which is the law of seeds, yeah, is considered as the practice for people of lesser scope. For people of lesser scope, right? But yeah, so the teaching to stop the desire for present life is for lesser scope, and then the teaching to stop the desire for future life is the teaching for medium scope, right? But here in our 3 principle path teaching, yeah, we use this because this is going to support our renunciation, all right? So we already mentioned the stop the desire for this life is the leisure and fortune, and then the death meditation. And then to stop the desire for future life is the 4 laws of karma, and then the 6 are the sufferings of this life. Okay, so that's all right. Yeah. So we can say that in order to escape this circle of life, so this is the medium scope, right? One must take up right actions, meaning that we plant good seeds, positive seeds, and abandon and stop bad seeds, right? So to do this, we must believe in the law of seeds, law of karmas. And to do this, we must contemplate on the law of karmas. These are the 4 laws of karma that we are very familiar. Yeah, we have already discussed them just now, right? Once a person has gained a well-founded belief in these principles, the law of karma, they will automatically in their daily life avoid doing wrong things and begin doing right things, okay? Now we talk about this life after death, right? After you die, your consciousness doesn't just go out like a lamp. You must take another birth. And there are only 2 kinds of birth you can take. One, the birth of misery, and one, the happier birth. Which of the 2 you will take, we are totally helpless. Remember, Geshe Michael was saying like a lottery draw, right? In one of the lamrims, like a drawing lottery. We are helpless. We must follow the direction of our past actions. We must follow what seeds we have. Virtuous actions, good seeds will throw us into a happier types of birth. Bad seeds will throw us into the 3 lower birth, right? Okay, now great non-virtuous acts lead us to hell. Medium non-virtuous acts lead us to hungry spirit, and lesser non-virtuous act lead us to animal realm. Great virtuous act give us the pleasure being, yeah, in one of the 2 higher realms, meaning that the form and formless realm. Medium good virtues bring us to the pleasure being of the desire realm. This is referring to the God and demigod, right? And the lesser virtue bring us to human realm, okay? So since this is the case, and all the virtues that we have are feeble, meaning that not really enough, yeah, and our non-virtues are much, much more, then if we were to die now in this present condition, you know, it is very high chance that we will have to take birth in one of the lower birth. So kind of sad, right? And when we are born in those lower birth, we would meet unbearable sufferings. Hell being would experience unspeakable heat and cold, bodies boiled and scorched and more. Hungry spirit will always be hungry and thirsty in the constant state of exhaustion and fear. Animals will be mindlessly brutes, incapable of saying a thing, cannot say anything, exploited by humans for their work or food. So all those are some of the problems with lower rebirth, right? So this correct decision in choosing our action is actually the single most important instruction in the entire teaching on how to go for refuge. So we need to understand the law of seeds so that we can choose, we can make a correct decision to choose our actions. Once we ignore the law of karma, it's already decided that we will take our birth in the realms of misery, right? So it's very, very important. You can be a sage, a master practitioner who has mastered the entire contents of the canon, meaning that the scriptures. You can be an advanced meditator with fantastic spiritual accomplishments. You can have great extrasensory powers, ability to perform miracles. But if you cannot behave with care around law of karma, you will suffer. You will suffer, right? This again would seem to be a case where the person had a knowledge of the teachings, but was unable to put them into actual practice or disregarded the principle of karma and never gained any belief in this principle in the first case, right? Accounts like these of people who lived before us, account of people who are very knowledgeable but don't believe in this law of karma are countless. Yeah, are countless. Again, this is the repeat of the principle. Actions are certain to produce similar consequences. Consequences are greater than actions. Consequence will not come if there is no action. And once action is committed, consequence cannot be lost. Now, this is talking about how to, this is very similar to fertile soil, right? But slightly different. So it is said that whether the action is virtuous or non-virtuous, its power is multiplied depending on the object. If the object is a especially important object, it will be multiplied. Or the thought behind the action is particularly strong. Nyunmong, remember Nyunmong, yeah, the free rocket fuel, the law karma. Yeah. So our emotion, the thought and emotion. That's why bad seeds are always stronger than good seeds, because when we plant good seeds, we don't have strong emotion. I just give money. I just donated my money. But when you're angry, you know, when you're angry, you are very full of emotion. But when you do good thing, yeah, I just give some donation. Okay, oh, you need some money. Let me give you some money. No emotion. Okay, and then if the material with which one performs the deed is somehow special, I just know, you know, when I used to see, you know, I used to see Jebila bought expensive flowers as offering. In my mind, I was thinking, why do you spend so much money? And then he has to choose the best flower. I just realized the material, the flower, when we do the offering, if it is special, the deeds, the power of the deeds are multiplied. Or the person performing the deed is someone special, then the power will be multiplied also, okay? Okay, putting the law of action and consequences into practice means keeping them. This means keeping the rules by avoiding the 10 non-virtues. Yeah, so I think we have learned this already. 3 actions, 4 speeches, and 3 thoughts. Action means, non-virtue means no killing, no stealing, no sexual misconduct. And then the 4 speeches, no lying, no splitting people, no harsh words, and no meaningless thought, meaningless speech. And then the 3 thoughts, no empathy, no, not feeling happy for others, no empathy for others' suffering, and finally the wrong worldview. Okay, so those are the 10 non-virtues. And here. So doing your best to follow the teaching on going for refuge and to make the right decisions with regard to the laws of karma will free you from having to take one of the 3 lower births. Okay, so we don't have to go to the 3 lower births just by going to refuge, going for refuge and understanding the law of karma. But what you really need is to free yourself from the cycle of life altogether. So while we have avoided a lower birth, achieving some wonderful life in one of the happier births is nothing but suffering anyway, the perversive suffering, right? So we don't want to go to those higher rebirths also. And These are the 6 sufferings that we just discussed, right? And what should we do then? Read the books, read the holy books, get teaching on them, contemplate their meaning, okay? And then live a life of rejection, meaning that live a life of knowing how to plant seeds and how to create your future, and stay in meditation, meaning that have a meditative mind, okay? Yeah. Oh yeah, a life of rejection means a life where we keep our morality and reject bad deeds, right? And plant the good seeds. Keep your wants few, be easy to satisfy. All impure feelings of pain constitute the first type of suffering. These are the 3 kinds of suffering, right? Suffering will be the pain from impure feelings. Suffering because of something negative. Suffering of change is the suffering of something positive. Yeah. Impure feelings of pleasure, meaning that something which is good now will turn bad in the future when the seeds are gone. Or here, yeah, so that is the suffering of change. And finally, suffering of pervasive suffering. Pervasive suffering means, yeah, regardless of which one of the 6 births that we take, the body that we take with the very existence, those bodies come with their own particular sufferings built in. Okay, so cyclic life is the, again already mentioned, it has impure parts. It has impure parts that we take on, and it is because of our karma and negative emotion. So we have to stop at the root of the wisdom, yeah, realizing that nothing has a self-nature. That is when we can escape from the cyclic life. All right, number 5. When you have meditated thus and feel not even a moment's wish for the good things of cyclic life, and when you begin to think both night and day of achieving freedom, you found renunciation. So quite easy, huh? Thus, we can say that renunciation and compassion are the same state of mind, just that one is developed by meditating on your own situation and the other by meditating on other situation. Yeah, so this is the difference between renunciation and bodhicitta. All right, that's the end of reading 6, and let's take a look at the notes. So we talk about appropriate antidote when we do negative, when we have negative seeds. We know it as 4 power, and this is the source, right? Here it's called 4 forces, 4 antidote forces. The first is the basis force. Remember the pen, the destruction force, the intelligent regret, the reverse force, which is the commitment not to redo, and then the remedy, the balancing seed, is called the counter agent force, right? So they are the same, all right? This is talking about some of the lamrim, right? Remember I mentioned there are 8 versions of lamrim. So yeah, so one word of the gentle one, this is one version of lamrim written by the great 5th Dalai Lama, Ngawang Losang Gyatso. Yeah, and then there are 2 more, Path of Bliss and Quick Path. Path of Bliss is by Panchen Lama, the first, Losang Chuki Gyaltsen, and then Quick Path is by his reincarnation, Panchen Lama the second, Lobsang Yeshe. All right, so yeah, and then of course the main lamrim. So we have the lamrim chemo, lamrim drink, lamrim I forgot the name. So the big, the medium, and the small. So those 3 are by Je Tsongkhapa. We have the word of the gentle, which is number 4, Path of Bliss and Quick Path, 5 and 6, and then we have one more, the liberation on your hand. Yeah, so 7. I think there is one more. Okay, I don't remember what is the other one. And then we learn about the 3 divisions of suffering, 8, 6, and 3. We know the 3. We learned the 6 today. And how about the 8? The 8 is quite easy. 生老病死, being born, getting old, getting sick, and dying, plus encountering things that are unpleasant, losing what is pleasant, trying and failing to get what you want, and the suffering of simply being alive and having all the impure parts. So these are the 8 sufferings. Yeah. So we learned the 3 sufferings: suffering of change, and pervasive suffering. And then we learned the 6 sufferings just now. Yeah. Life is uncertain. We are alone. We have to change body all the time. We have to take birth, and so on. And then these are the 8 sufferings. Yeah. Born, old, sick, die, and then have things, having unpleasant things, losing what is pleasant, failing to get what we want, and suffering for pervasive suffering of simply being alive, right? And that's the end. Oh yeah, we need to go to the homework. Okay, let's go to the homework for class 6. This is quite easy, okay? Easy homework. Name the 4 principles of action. Oh, we know already, right? Action and consequence should be the same. Action is small, consequence is big. No action, no consequence. With action, definitely have consequence. 6 sufferings. Okay, what are the 6 sufferings? Okay, anybody remember? Let me look at my note. I played shit. I can. Okay, the 6 sufferings are: life has no certainty. We always want more than we have. We keep changing our bodies, and then we have to take birth over and over. 5th is that we go up and down over and over again. And number 6 is that we are alone. All right. At which point, you know, you have developed the true realization when you think of wanting to get out of this day and night. Or we can say that we want to learn the seed system deeper and deeper, and to apply it in our practice day and night. Okay. So day and night, remember, level 6 is coming. Negative emotion. Okay, let's go through. Okay, let's do a death meditation. Okay, just now I mentioned that you can read yourself, but now let's do it. I'm going to read to you, and you just need to follow. Huh? Okay, let's have a death. Let's do this a death meditation by Pabongka Rinpoche. Okay. So maybe you want to drink. Clear your throat. Stretch a bit. Okay, this will be a short meditation. I think about 10 minutes. Huh? Okay. Get into or maybe I should just show my screen for the benefit of the translators. Huh? Okay, so get into a comfortable sitting position. You can cross your leg or put your feet flat on the floor and park your hands on your knees. Touch your thumb and your index fingers together, the palm facing up, down, or sideways. Relax your feet and your toes. You can close your eyes if you have not done so. Relax your fingers and your hands. Tuck in your tummy slightly. Pull up your head, your neck, and your spine so that you can sit taller. Pull back both shoulders and drop them down. Adjust your chin, not too high, not too low. Put a bit of smile on your lips. Touch the tip of your tongue at the back of your upper teeth. Relax your cheek, your scalp, and your forehead. And finally, relax your eyes. Bring attention to the tip of your nose. Let's do 10 counts of breathing. Each count starts with exhale, followed by inhale. You feel the air is slightly warm and when you exhale and slightly cool when you inhale. Now start counting individually, starting from now. At any moment when your mind runs away, gently pull it back and start from 1 again. Now let's do the meditation on what it is like to die, as taught by Pabongka Rinpoche directly. They try all different kinds of treatments and rituals, but your condition gets worse and worse. The doctors start lying to you. Your friends and relatives say all sorts of things to cheer you up. But behind your back, they start wrapping up your affairs because everyone can see that you are going to die. Your body starts to lose its warmth. It's difficult to breathe. Your nostrils collapse. The lips curl back. Colors start to drain from your face. All sorts of repulsive signs begin to show inside and outside of you. You think of all the wrong things you did in your life and wish so badly that you had never done them. You can't be quite sure if you ever really got rid of them, all the bad sins, even when you confessed, or you are not sure that you really did any true good sins. Then comes the final pain. The unspeakable searing pain that comes with death. The basic building blocks of your body begin their collapse. You are blinded by catastrophic images. Hallucinations of pure terror crowd into your mind and carry you away. And the whole world you have been living blinks out. people take your corpse and wrap it up in a sheet and lay it in some corner. They hang up a curtain to hide it. Somebody lights up a smudgy little candle and leaves it there. And they dress you up and try to make you look good. Right now, at this moment, we are all running around trying to arrange ourselves a nice house, soft clothes, cozy chairs. But you know the custom here in Tibet? When you die, they'll tie your arms and legs up against your chest with a leather strap, carry the body far from town, and throw it naked out on the rocks. Right now, we all go home and try to cook ourselves some nice dish. But there will come a day when you stand there praying for a little taste of those cakes they offer the spirits of the dead. Right now, we have the big name. They call us doctor, professor, respected sir, your reverence. But there will come a day when they look at your body and call you nothing but that stinking corpse. There will come a day when the title they put in front of your name is the late, or that guy they used to call. So now look at our body now. Look at what we are wearing now. Maybe this will be the last cover that we have to wrap our stinking corpse when we die. As Milarepa said, that frightful corpse they talk about is the very body you wear, meditator. Meaning, look at your own body now and only see the future corpse. Now bring attention back to the tip of your nose. Do 3 long and slow exhale. And when you're ready, you can slowly open your eyes. Okay, we have come to the end of our class 6, all future corpse. So scary, huh? All right, let's do our prayer before we go into if there are any questions. I think we are quite late. I'm sorry. Mr. Choi, you want to lead the closing prayer?
Okay. Shashi Pushi Minto Trang Rira Yenshe Yende Gembadi Sangye Shindu Bike Uagi Rukun Namda Shika So di dalam Guru Ratna Mandala Kami Atayami Kewa Diji Kiwa Kun Sunam Yeshe Shuto Shin Sunam Yeshe Rejo Wei Damba Gunji Toba Sho
All right, thank you. Yeah, I forgot a group photo. Let's turn on your camera and let's take photo. Ingui, Ingui here. You help us with photo.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Ivan, Chacha, Alvin, Juniato, Kevin.
Okay.
Okay. 1, 2, 3, smile. Okay, done. Thank you.
Done. Oh, okay. Thank you. All right. So final chance. Any questions? No questions. Okay. If no questions, then thank you very much. All the homework questions, all the homeworks are in the platform. So if you want to do, please go to the platform. It's totally optional. But even if you don't want to do,